Hello dear viewers, welcome back to channel. Maverick here, and we are continuing our watch of March Comes In Like a Lion with episode 3. So, not really much to recap so far because I'm still trying to figure out how this story is actually going to progress. We do know that our main character has some sort of issues, right? Mostly related with his family. That's also affecting his social life to a certain extent as well. I have some guesses, but don't really know. And really, with the end of last episode, don't really know how this is going to continue forward as well, right? But at the very least, for the right now and here, he still has people that care for him, and that's the important thing, right? So, without further ado, let's just get into the episode to see what happens. Alright, it started with the opening, so I skipped it, and let's just begin directly in the episode in 3, 2, 1, play. Mm-hmm. 7 in the morning. I can't get up at that time. I mean, if you're gonna get up at 7 in the morning, it would be nice to be awakened with the sunlight. By the sunlight. Seriously? That's a shit breakfast. Really? Wait, this is right now, right? We're not in a flashback? I thought he would be. He was a professional for quite a while already. Okay. His quote unquote rival. Hmm. That's why you won? To help him? Really? Hmm. He lost.
す手がなくなる時が来た。どんなに目を凝らしても、もうどこにも自分の玉の生きる道がない。開けました。そうつぶやくと彼は、漫画みたいな大粒の涙をポロポロとこぼし始めた。僕はそれを、セミの声と、デパートの屋上の BGM の中で、ただ黙って見つめていた。多分、この先何十年も向き合うかもしれないその顔を。プロになるということは、止まらない列車に飛び乗るようなものだ。もう二度と降りることはできない。負けて転がり落ちるまでは。この小さ
I
な
mean, that's the same for everything.
気が遠くなるほどの勝ったり負けたりを繰り返すのだ。負けたくないとあえぎながら。
おお、桐山。ちょっと見ろ。お前のライバルが素晴らしい気迫で待ってるぞ。なんかもう気合入りすぎて、ほぼ別の漫画になってるだろ。やつの子、ジゴン、つむやつまざるや。みたいな、羨ましいな、桐山。見ろ、あの気迫。
I like how it's roasting itself, sort of like meta discussion. Since this is adapted from a manga, right? I assume that originally it was drawn in a very different style.
まずゆっくり息を吸い込む。浅い息は視界を狭くする。遅いぞ桐山、待ちくたびれたぞ。僕は時間通りに来ました。早く来た北海道さんの。そっか、気持ちが流行ってしまってな。さあ、
Did he buy one for him as well?
ようじゃないか。
Doesn't seem like it.
25K 来た。24銀。3五歩。同銀。1五歩。強くなっている。
Now it's a sacrifice to move forward his pawn.
じわじわと、でも揺るがずに攻めてくる。ダメだ。受けてばかりでは拉致が開かない。流れを変える。
Hey, at least they're in an air-conditioned room now, right? Perks of being a pro.
汗。あの時と同じだ。顔色が悪い。二階堂の様子がおかしい。すいません。部長聞いてますか？すいません。どうもエアコンの
I guess I said things too soon.
あのデパートの屋上に比べたら天国だ。
So they both remember from that time?
続けようぜ。
7 means it's promoted, right?
え68銀金取りを放置して銀打ちなんだなんだこれ
It's like, I am now getting serious.
負けたくない負けたくないよね
How long are shogi matches?
冷静にさえいければこの局面僕の方がいいはずなんだ落ち着いて指し続けろ
That long? Really?
対局は夜まで続き僕は春信の粘りを振り切り続けたそして ああ、そうだ。この顔。同じまんまだ。子供の頃と。ちっとも変わっていない。二階堂も。そしてきっと僕も。きっとこのままずっと。ずっと。ずっと。
Hi, Mr. KFC.
研究家世界一周はどうしたんだ80日間帰ってこないんじゃなかったのか
大奥様に代わっていただきました。私は10日間で十分です。
Really?
満喫させていただきました。正直、春信様と離れている方が心配で心配で、もう不整脈とか起こしかねない危なさでありましたよ。病院の方へ行っていませんね。
Oh, he actually does have a problem. Okay.
連絡はしてあります。
Hmm.
春信、おつらいですか。また腎機能が低下しているのでしょう。申し訳ありません。私がいない間、食事も無茶なさったのでありましょう。いいんです。わかります。病院食ばかりではストレスがたまります。それを子供の頃からです。こんなにおつらいか。花岡は見てまいりました。大丈夫。花岡がついております。焦らず少しでも体調を戻しましょう。桐山様は対局はいかがでしたか。強かった。何強くなってるなんて。でも次は絶対に負けない。はい。
I wonder what's their head-to-head right now.
春信様。
Oh, we're in the next chapter already.
二階堂との対局を終え約束通り僕はみんなのいる家に向かった
Good boy. You need people around you.
こんばんは山です
よかったね。お疲れ様。お腹減ってるでしょ。入って。
待ってすみ
ほら、もも。レイちゃん来たよ。
これいいんです
They're waiting for him?
さあ、どうぞ。桐山くんのは遅いから別に持って。
Ah, okay.
ありがとう
桐山くん小食だから
Wow.
おじいちゃん寝ちゃダメよ。そろそろ送り火炊かないとだし。
あんまり遅くなるとばあさんたち帰るの大変だからね。
この間
そう、この間は迎え盆だったから。迎えるときは早く来て、みんな待ってるよって。
What is this sort of countryside sort of
送るときは
style to this?
少しでも長くいてほしいから、晩ご飯が終わってから炊くのよ。ね、来るときは早く来てほしいから、きゅうりの帰りはお土産たくさん持って、ゆっくり無事に帰れるよ。ナスで作った牛に。
For any of you Westerners who are watching this, we saw two very traditional things, very household things, but maybe you guys would be interested in it. One is the sort of lid that's put over the food. That's really just to keep the flies out. It's a sort of mesh used in a lot of countryside places.
いつもと変わらずニコニコしてるけど、
And that green sort of spiral thing,
やっぱりどこか気だるか
not this fire, and yet a green thing that was burning. That isn't. That's actually mosquito repellent.
ごちそうを用意したり、もういない人たちの来る時間や帰る時間をみんなで気にしたり。
This tradition is something I don't really know. This is perhaps more Japanese.
僕には余計思い出して悲しくなるための切ない儀式にしか思えなかった。
When you send off your own parents.
そろそろうちに入りましょうか。ママもお風呂入って寝よっかね。私ちょっとコンビニ行ってくる。ひの、今から何買いに？漫画、新刊出てるの忘れてた。
He's gonna go with her.
いいから早く。
はい。
I think maybe their parents, their mom, I guess, passed away relatively recently.
どこ行くんだ？そっちはコンビニじゃ。
I'm not entirely sure about that kind of tradition of burning that incense. But do you think it maybe only occurred within the first year of them passing away or something? mean, he went for the same thing, right?
僕はずっと消えてしまった本当の僕の家族のこと。泣いても仕方ないから諦めて、悲しいから考えないようにして、頭から追い出して、追い出して、追い出して。でも、本当にそれでよかったんだろうか。泣いてる彼女と、泣かない僕と、二人並んで見上げる美しい。ただただ美しい。7月の夜空。
Sorry for not saying anything, but I felt like that scene, shouldn't be disturbed. All right. See you guys after the ending song. Alrighty, so in this episode we really have two stories here, right? One is focused on Nikaido, and one is again focused on the three sisters, their family, and how it relates with Rei, right? So let's talk about Nikaido a little bit first. I don't really know what the moral of that story was, but I guess it's just a way to introduce the character, let us know a little bit more about him, and apparently this is Rei's first professional match, right? I was under the impression that he was already a professional for some time now, due to his conversation with his teacher in last episode, or maybe 2 episodes before. Right, where it seemed that he's already gotten a lot of earnings and whatnot as a professional. But okay, fine. This is his first professional game against his longtime rival. No, they're nice to see a familiar face, I guess. And you know, you can definitely see that they're quite. I guess I wouldn't say close, but it's a very comforting face for Rei, right? We already see that from last episode when he invited him to his to his complex or whatnot, to his little loft there, and well, yeah, I think that's mostly it. Maybe showcasing their competitive spirit of each other, right? They're professionals now, they have to take this seriously and whatnot, and you know, it's nice to have a good rival so that you can push each other on, right? So that's to me, I feel like that's mostly just an introductory episode for this dude. Although his health condition does seem a bit intriguing, right? I wonder if it's a little bit more sinister than it actually seems, and maybe that will affect Rei somehow in the future, right? So that's mostly all I have to say for him as of this point. And as for the second half, right, with the, I do applaud Rei. He was a good boy. He went over to their house to eat. He's definitely living unhealthy, and he's also one who is lonely, so good on him to actually seek out some, proper food and some proper companionship, right? And oh, by the way, I was questioning out loud during the episode, like what exactly they were doing with lighting the incense and whatnot. So, it's related with Obon, right? The Obon festival that they mentioned some time ago. So Obon is basically a festival to, or sort of a festival slash holiday, whatever you want to call it, to bring the spirits of your ancestors back, so that you can all be together and have fun and whatnot, and then send them away after 3 days, right? So that's basically what was shown here. So they lit the fire to they burn the stuff to bring them in, and they lay out feasts every day for them, and then at the end of this period they light it the final time to send them off, right? And also quite interesting, I'll be honest, I looked this up. I'm not very familiar with the traditional festivals of Japan. So apparently they're supposed to be lighting hemp there for receiving and sending them off, so literally burning cannabis. I don't know if that's completely true or not. Apparently, the customs are very localized to different areas, right? So, say for instance, the cucumber horse and eggplant ox. That is one derivative of all the different customs that can be used. Although I do believe it's a pretty popular derivative here. So yeah, that was basically the entire scene. And the reason why I was questioning that was because I don't typically celebrate these types of holidays, guiding back the ancestors and whatnot. My immediate family is, they're more on the Christian side. Although for more distant relatives, they do follow more Buddhist or Taoist kind of traditions, and the ones that I'm familiar with are mostly happen when people pass away, and then you have to observe lots of different thingamajigs. You get the experts, right? You just get the monks or the what's it called? You just get people well versed in that, right? I don't typically uh, I don't typically bother myself with this kind of knowledge either. So I thought that it might be a case where, their mother, more specifically, maybe passed away relatively recently, and so that's why we got that entire scene at the end there with the grief of the middle sister, right? Who is, Hinata, yeah, Hinata, right, Hinata. Um, and yeah, not really much to talk about there as well, although Ray's little monologue at the end there does seem a little bit interesting. It seems that he hasn't entirely come to terms with the death as a family. Not really sure why. Maybe is that maybe for self-doubt, maybe he blames himself, or maybe he shut down his, maybe he shut down his heart a little bit too early with lots of different things piling on and whatnot, and that sort of made him grow up in a very unhealthy kind of way, right? Again, that's something that I assume we're going to be exploring through all the later episodes as well. So, what else? Oh, and of course it's a full moon at the very end there because it's during the Obon festival, which follows the lunar calendar, and so it's always going to be on a day or be on a few days where there are full moons, right? So that's that. But anyways, sorry if this doesn't really, come together into any sort of analysis or whatnot. I don't think there's anything much I can say at this point. I assume that with the current pacing of 3 episodes, we're going to slowly understand each and every character a little bit more and how they are related with Ray in some sort of way. Maybe through this as well, gradually dig into Ray's past and reconstruct what actually happened with his parents and why he's turned out the way that he is right now, right? So yeah, I think that's basically it. Beyond that, not really that much else to talk about, I'd say. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching this episode. Let me know if you guys want me to change anything or there's anything that you want to supplement me with information or whatnot. I hope the little trivia piece about the green spiral thing, driving away mosquitoes, and that little sort of lid there, that cover there for the food. I hope that little bit of trivia entertained you guys. But anyways, this is Maverick signing off. See you guys. Bye bye.